Or you can go down.
Ooh, yeah. Where do you get these?
I just Amazoned it.
Are these gaming headsets?
Yeah, they're gaming headsets.
Hell yeah.
You need to plug in. Whichever one you like. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
We're good. We're live. Look, your mic's like a million miles away.
Get it closer. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I
can't hear myself.
Try this.
Oh.
Oh, well, this one, you plug
Nope,
it into
we're good.
The absolute.
I can hear now.
Okay. All right, well, Dakota, you're back.
Finally, dude.
It's been a little while. It's been a while.
It's been too long.
I can't even remember. You can't even remember.
Fuck, dude. It's been at least 6 months.
Yeah.
It was just before
Longer.
Christmas. No.
I tried to get you over in October.
It was after Thanksgiving.
No, you haven't been over here since October. Since before October.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Life.
Why?
Life.
Oh, life, yeah.
Life.
Dude.
Don't even think about it.
No, I've got this whole weird thing with having kids now. I don't like to go do stuff like away from my kids.
Without kids, I don't even like to go do stuff.
No. I don't know. It's like right now I'm thinking that like I can be hanging out with my daughter.
Sure.
Dude, I just love spending time with her more than absolutely anything else. Like more than anything that I've ever enjoyed doing.
Well,
It's crazy.
You could have brought her. There's nothing wrong with that.
She would have been running around, hands and everything, and yelling. And
She seemed pretty quiet on Sunday.
Yeah, I think that's the first time she's been in a room with like 40 people
Sure.
buzzing around.
There was no elbow room at your house on Sunday.
Yeah, we definitely... Next time we have that many people over, it's going to have to be in my mansion. Hooray, aspirations.
Yeah. How's work going?
Staying busy, man. Finished up my first year of the electrical apprenticeship and did really well in school. Cruising right along, man. I don't know.
You're not a foreman yet?
No. It seems.
Are you a journeyman?
No. Definitely not. I got another 4 years of school.
Lame.
Oh, well.
You're like 50 now.
I know, dude. I turned 30 this year.
Oh, you're not 30 yet?
No.
My sister turned 30.
Ugh.
Steph.
I can't. I literally can't.
3-0.
Yeah, dude. And my mom likes to remind me, like, every time we do dinner at her house on Mondays still. Mm-hmm. And every week for the last, like, probably month.
So, like, what,
like,
July 25 or something?
15th.
15th, July 15th?
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't. It's crazy.
Well, no, you got it gets
30.
surreal to me when I start thinking about it, because I'm 32.
Yeah, but
right?
I think that you have a similar perspective to age as I do, because your mom was really young when she had you, right?
Right, she's 14 years older than me.
Yeah. So, like, both my parents were 17, so, like, I think of my dad at 30, I was 12. Mm-hmm. So, like, I solidly remember my dad at 30.
See, well,
I don't feel like I'm 30.
Well, but I wasn't raised by my mom, so I wasn't really seeing her to where I can be like, oh, I remember her at 30. So now I look back and I think about, like, the times that I did see her, and it's like, oh, well, she had to have been, like, in her 20s.
Yeah.
I think about me in my 20s and her in her 20s.
Yeah.
Opposed to, like, you, who just had a kid at 29.
Or 28, just before I turned 29.
So your kid's not going to be like, oh, I remember my dad when he was 30 years old. That same age will be like 42.
Exactly. And that's another thing that's crazy to me is, like, all the cool shit. Like, my dad, had
So like
taught
right now
snowboard
you're going through all this career stuff, and you were like 12 when your dad was this age.
Yeah, and my dad had already wrapped all this up. He was already a journeyman by the time he was 30 and all that stuff.
So you're behind.
No, I guess. You suck, Dakota. No, I don't know. It's definitely a unique perspective on all that.
On life and everything else.
Yeah, and just having a kid just fucking makes you think about like everything, all the shit that you put off thinking about.
Like,
you text me the other day, like, oh, you know, I was texting you about the rigor. Like, when is it appropriate for a kid to start watching cartoons like Rick and Morty?
Okay.
Like,
well, I mean, like, I think about.
I never thought about that before because it just didn't fucking matter. This is hilarious. Let's watch it. I enjoy it, so let's watch it. And now I got to think about like, okay, my daughter is in the room, and I have to like think about what I watch or like the music that I listen to, or you know what I'm saying? Because I'm an adult and I'm able to take situations and see them as fictional and see them as like this is detached from real life.
Right.
Kids don't really have that ability. Like,
you don't think so?
To some degree. You know, like, I don't know. I think that's why, like, kids playing pretend is much more prevalent when you're a child than an adult. Like, it still does happen as an adult in certain groups and certain, like, circles. But as a rule, pretending goes away. But what did you pretend to do?
When you were a kid?
When you were a kid.
Fighting, things like that.
I pretended to be like a Power Ranger.
Yeah, Power Ranger.
Because I liked Power Rangers.
Turtles.
And that goes back to the subjectability.
Picking up a stick.
You're picking up things that you see. And you don't see that as a detachment from real life. You don't think that like, oh, there's no way that these guys could just materialize suits and jump into giant robots and fight and like...
So you're saying you weren't able to know that was fake on TV?
No, your suspended disbelief is so much higher because your baseline understanding of the world around you is so minimal. Mm-hmm. So when you see inputs of like some dude materializing a suit, jumping in a giant robot that combines into a bigger robot and destroy, you know, like if that was really to happen, the city of Angel Grove would cease to exist. After like the third battle, everybody would like, fuck this, we need to figure out these robots, the government would be up and everything. The reality of that perpetuating and going on isn't real. But when you're a little kid, you can watch stuff like that and you don't like talk yourself out of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That suspended disbelief is different for different people. But
I think I was able
as
to
a rule,
I think I was able to detach myself.
I don't know. Damn, bro. It's got a hammy.
Well, I mean, I was able to watch whatever I wanted for the most part when I was a kid.
I was too. But that started when I was like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10. And I still think to some degree it was orchestrated what I was even introduced to, because your choices of what you want to watch is going to be limited to what you're exposed to. I watched this and I enjoyed it. Cool. So I want to watch that again.
And
I'll call her back in a bit.
Is that Nicole?
Yeah.
You don't want to answer? She knows you're here, right?
Yeah.
You went home, right?
No.
I thought you said you were going home.
No, I did.
Okay.
I let the dogs out. No, I did though.
Well, she's not home?
No, she's getting off work right now.
Okay, so she's still working.
Yeah, she works till 5.
Well, I mean, like, she's pregnant.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's not like she's got a physically demanding job.
But she is a trooper, dude. She literally... So, Morgan was born on a Monday, like first thing in the morning Monday. What is that?
No, it's me.
It is you. Damn it, Matt. We just need that, like... We are having technical difficulties.
What the fuck? Like, I'm always... There's always a problem. Hand me the white headset over there.
Alright. Fuck. Dead air.
Radio silence.
Radio silence.
So you were saying Morgan was born.
Morgan was born on a Monday morning, so we went to the hospital on Sunday, and Nicole worked through that Friday, like the whole time.
You mean before?
The Friday before, yeah. Obviously,
And
when
then
she
the
had
Friday
the kid. No, she took a couple months off, and we're able to do it where she can take 3 months off this time, which is really cool. And yeah, I'm just.
And you're due in August, you said?
August 13th is the due date, so yeah, it's. I'm gonna have 2 kids. Deuce.
Now, she
Glad
said
to
it
get
was
it
on
done.
purpose.
It was on purpose on my part, because I really enjoyed having a sibling as close in age as I did with Kagan.
Right.
I super enjoyed that.
So it wasn't like, if it happens, it's cool, but...
She couldn't keep her hands on me. Let's be
You're
honest.
so gay, dude.
But, yeah, I wanted as close in age as possible, like as close to a year, because there's 2 years between her and her siblings, and there's enough of an age gap that, like, in school it's like, oh, you're 2 years younger than me, we can't hang out, like, get out of my face, freshman, and you're like a junior in high school, you know. So there, to some degree, there is. I wanted to negate that, because I felt like a large reason of why my brother and I.
Sorry.
With fire! But a large deal of why that was, like, why my brother and I were so cool is because I think we hit, like, 6 or 7. We realized, like, my friends like hanging out with your friends. We all like doing the same shit. Like, why not just hang out?
Sure.
You know? So it just made a little more sense. And then
You guys didn't fight all the time?
we did a lot, like, when we were super young. But, again,
Like what? What's the biggest incident?
I remember one time I was 7, and my brother and I were just bickering, and my brother used to, like, purposefully fuck with me to piss me off, and then when I start, like hitting him or push him or something, he'd complain, and then I'd get in trouble. And so my dad had been telling him, was like, dude, like, one of these days he's gonna get a hold of you. And so it was happening, and my dad's like, you know what, I'm tired of this. He grabbed a video camera, and it was like, you two want to fight? Go ahead, fight. And Kagan's like, no, I'm good, no. And I just turned and wham! We beat the shit out of each other in the backyard.
Didn't you, like, throw him off a bunk bed or something?
That used to happen a lot.
You guys had bunk beds?
Yeah, we had bunk beds. And he was on the bottom all the time. And he used to do shit like... So it was the mattress where, like, it had the wood slats.
Yep.
And then you could, like, reach up into the springs. So I'd be laying there and something would jam me in the back. Or, like, you know, obviously it's him. And he'd pretend, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? And he did it one too many times one time. And I swung down and I held onto the handrail. And I just, like, stomped him with both feet until my dad came flying in the room.
Your dad fucking... Surprising he's not, like, gray.
He is.
Is he gray?
Oh, dude, yeah, the sides, man. Full on. He's got, like, the Doctor Strange thing going.
The Reed Richards.
The Reed Richards. But, yeah, he's... I don't know. The last incident that I can think of where I hit my brother, I was, like, 12 or 13. And I was sitting there playing... I was playing Twisted Metal on PS2. It was like the last Twisted Metal Black.
Yep.
So, I'm sitting there playing Twisted Metal. My brother and our buddy Rusty come walking in, and King's like, I want to play. I'm like, okay, like, let me finish this game. And he reaches down and he, like, puts his finger over the reset button. And he's like, I want to play. And he looks right at me. I was like, dude, if you hit that button, I'm going to punch you in your face. And he reaches down and he hits the button. And just as he turns back, I jumped over the coffee table and just laid him out. It was awesome.
Do you guys ever talk about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. we talk more about the good times because there were a lot more of those.
You don't talk about... He doesn't like... That really hurt, man.
No. Getting hit in the face is not that bad.
I can't remember.
It doesn't.
It's been a while since
It's
I've been
not
hit in
that
the
bad.
face.
It's not that bad.
Maybe not when you're like 12.
I've been hit in the face is a grown man by a grown man. Again, swells up, gets purple.
At that wedding when we were trying to make God salt.
Fuck, dude. That sucked. That super sucked.
Or like the many nights in the country or rodeos.
Night in the country.
Don't you always get like, isn't it like an annual thing for you to get beat up at night in the country? Or start
No.
fights? Yes.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
I've done it once.
Once
at
is
night
enough.
in the country. But I've been like 7 times. I get free tickets. My father-in-law works for him. No. The only thing violent that goes on at night in the country on a consistent basis is Dakota gets violently drunk every year that I go. Yeah. Probably the best one was I was trying to find my friend's camp, and I got separated from Nicole and her friend. So I was trying to locate their camp, and I'd like walk up to campsites and like, hey, do you guys know where 24 row A is? And they're like, yeah, we do. We'll point you in the right direction, but you got to do this shot, or like you got to play a game of beer pong.
They can hand you drinks.
Dude, I made it through. I must have stopped at like 10 camps, and I had already been drinking during the concert, and I showed up and I was tanked. And I guess I threw up outside of my one friend's trailer, and then Cheryl was coming to get us, and I was like trying to pretend like I wasn't drunk. Like, oh no, everything's good. Yeah, but I again do not remember this because I was like blackout drunk. It was bad, all bad. But yeah, I don't know. Back to the sibling thing. I think that I just wanted that for my kids. That was something that like. I don't know. Having kids, you think about like, what's the good, what's the bad, what do I want to keep, what do I want to?
Was okay with
what
this?
do I want to do differently? Obviously,
like she has any say.
Yeah, why I oughta. But yeah, I just there was a lot of good in my childhood, and I wanted to keep as much of that as possible, and that was something that I definitely viewed as a positive.
And your parents, or how are they?
They're doing all right.
Like, we're grandparents now.
Yeah, they're my dad's like all into it. My mom's all into it. It's more with Nicole's parents. They're like weird about it.
Weird in what way?
They don't like Cheryl refuses to be called a grandma because she feels like
her
that
parents
makes her
live in
sound
Urington,
old.
right?
Yeah,
but your parents live in town.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
But Cheryl's like doesn't like being called a grandma because she feels like it makes her sound old.
What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?
It's one of those things that just happens. Yeah, I don't understand people that don't just age.
Right.
Like it is what it is. If you don't act like you're 60, whatever that means to you, then you're not 60.
Are her parents 60 years old?
Her mom, oh god, if I get this wrong, she's gonna kill me if she hears this. 52?
52. How old's Nicole?
27? No, 28. She turns 29 in November.
This year.
Yeah. But, I don't know.
Look, all my friends have kids now, and my family members.
Really?
Yeah.
How's your brother doing, dude?
Good, I guess. I don't know.
Are you going down to? Is that where you're going down to Vegas for?
Yeah.
To see him
tomorrow? Well, no. Rosa's niece is graduating.
Okay. Are you gonna see Sam?
Yes.
Okay.
Sam and Steph.
Nice.
So.
How's he liking living in Vegas?
I don't know.
Every time I go down there and like. It's like visiting the Strip is really cool. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. It's like kind of like downtown Reno on steroids with like roller coasters.
Sure, the New York.
That's one roller coaster, but I don't know.
I think it's the only one.
They go all out there, like a little more
like
so
it.
than here.
I like it.
But I feel like everywhere else is a fucking armpit. Everywhere else that you go, you're like, this is kind of
well, we stay with her brother, and her brother lives like on the outskirts in like the suburban area, and it's
like in Henderson.
No, that's where my family lives.
Okay.
But no, they just live on like the outskirts, like it's all desert in their backyard basically. Well, I mean, like
yeah, like
It's like
the desert.
desert,
It's like here.
and then it's like the desert hugs these suburban neighborhoods.
It's like here.
No, it's not like here. Here, everywhere you look is fucking, there's houses and buildings and warehouses and everything else here. Over there, it's like, oh, that's all desert and mountains that way.
Okay.
It's how here used to be when I was a kid.
Okay. Understandable.
But now we're surrounded by homes and everything else like that. And
Yeah.
no, they're literally, it's the desert is hugging this neighborhood, and it's all desert this way and all desert that way. And then over in that corner is where Vegas is.
Maybe I just feel it. I don't know. I don't feel the desert. I'm not a huge fan of the desert.
You like the snow.
I like the snow. I like the west end of our valley. It's cool having the desert here. I don't know, if you got like a little 4-wheel drive vehicle, it's fun to just go out and explore. You can go check stuff out. That's always
what I like
a super
about
good
Vegas
time.
is there's all kinds of different things everywhere. What?
There's all different kinds of stuff at all the places.
That me again. We can just kill these.
Get it?
Yeah. I like that there's a lot of options, no matter what you want to do. Like, if I wanted something, I can just pick one street, drive all the way up it, and find something. And it's just cool different shit all the way up. In Reno, it's very limited. There is no
like that,
specialty shops.
Because like I feel like if you were to move anywhere, you would move to like a bigger city. And I am looking to downsize like a lot.
Well, look, when it's just me, I like to be secluded. But when I need something, I want to go out, I want to have options. So like, it's.
I want to live at the top of a tower with no elevator except for me, and I can fly, so I can get there.
I mean, literally, like I don't like. I like being secluded. I don't like wanting anything, but when I want something, I want options.
See, I like having one option because it just makes it simple. It makes it like, I need groceries. There's one grocery store. You drive to the grocery store, you get groceries, and then you go home. Sure. Rather than like, we're going to get better prices if we go here. Oh, shit, okay, we can drive a little bit further. We know that this place we can get, they have good produce here, so we'll go over here for produce, but we got to go over here because they got, ground beef on sale.
Sure.
That shit gets irritating.
Well,
I like simplicity and I like...
Well, look, if I lived out in the middle of nowhere, I'd probably feel claustrophobic.
What? How is that even like a...
I like...
Or would it be like the opposite? Is there an opposite of claustrophobia?
Well, so like the open amount... Yeah, so probably the exact opposite of claustrophobia, but essentially it comes down to the same thing, kind of anxiety of having nothing around.
Yeah.
Like, if something were to happen, there's nothing around.
I kind of like that.
Like, in the pinch, there's nothing around.
Like... I don't know, cut your arm off with a chainsaw cutting wood, like,
Sure. It doesn't have to be like that drastic.
It's not like 15 minutes to the hospital and you're good.
Right.
It's like, we gotta drive for 4 hours. Like, I gotta stop this bleeding. I don't know. I don't even...
Like, help can be on the way, but an hour, 2 hours away. You know what I mean? Like, that's...
Yeah. I like the idea of that, though. I like the idea of, like, being...
Agoraphobia?
Is that what it's called?
Well, that's what Corey says.
Oh, Corey!
I thought agoraphobia was the fear of everything.
Corey!
I thought agoraphobia was fear of everything or fear of going out. So I don't think that's right. You're an idiot, Corey.
Google it. I don't know. I like, my wife and I are looking to move to Gardnerville, like, in the next few years. And that's pretty much the best compromise to me, because you have Carson City right up over the hill. You have a full hospital up there, like, it's 15-20 minutes away to the south end of Carson, but you're right there.
That's what I like about that area in Vegas is 15 minutes away. Like us here, everything we want to go to, like if we want to go to Best Buy on South Virginia or the mall, it's like a 15-minute drive.
Yeah.
But going from here to the mall, there's like nothing. Like there's some branches of shit. But like between here and
there's shit branches, but not the shit,
I don't know. It's hard to explain. It really is. It's in my head.
No,
I can just...
You like the idea of, like, turning around and, like, okay, there's everything that I could want from a city right there. And then you turn around the other way, and there's everything that I can want from just being out and...
But it's not, like, an hour away to get to.
Yeah.
So, like, if I want to go do something in Carson or Tahoe, it's like... It's an hour drive. And then it's an hour drive back. I would rather have the 15-minute drive to absolutely everything. But really, I'm going to spend 90% of my time here in this little cool suburban unit. But just the safety net of bullshit everywhere. So like not mirage, the facade of being secluded.
Oh, bam.
Agoraphobia is an anxiety disorder characterized by symptoms of anxiety in situations where the person perceives the environment to be unsafe with no easy way to get away. These situations can include open spaces, public transit, shopping malls, or simply being outside their home. But that's not what I was talking about, Corey.
And wrong you are, Corey.
You idiot.
He's probably like, motherfucker! right now.
So, like, not being outside my home, but being in my home with no outside is what the fear would be.
Wait, what? You mean, wait, what?
Like, I see what he's going with the anxiety. Eat my hit. Give me an hit, and I'll go ahead and eat it.
Hit. I want hit song.
So yeah, the facade of nothing in my little unit. Like I want, like, just like a nice house and a nice yard. I can kind of do my own thing without anyone bothering me.
Are you guys still looking to move to the Philippines?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Everything's up in the air, so I doubt it. I don't know. So it is what it is.
Have you gone to the Philippines yet?
We're going to the Philippines in like a couple weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude. Jet set life.
I don't know.
Go to Las Vegas. Go to the Philippines.
Well, Vegas is easy because we don't really have to rent a room or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
We've got somewhere to stay down there.
absolutely, and multiple places if need be.
Hell yeah.
Confused. I mean, I can only imagine like the amount of times we've gone to Vegas if we had to stay in a room every single time.
Dude.
It'd be like $500 towards $1,000 by the end of the
Every
weekend.
trip?
Yeah, every trip.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's easy cheesy, and I like it. I like the sun. You know, I like the temperature.
No, dude. We went down and visited one of my dad's friends one time. I was like 14 or 15. And we drove down there, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, so they have a swimming pool in their backyard. And
Sounds legit.
we're crashing. My brother and I are sleeping in Doug's
house.
son's room with Doug's son. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, the bedroom door comes flying open. Guys, get up, put your swim trunks on, come on, woo! And I'm like, even summer here, man, it gets down into like the 70s. You don't want to be like hopping into water. Like sometimes it's okay, but that late at night, it's typically a little cold. I walked outside and it was 103 degrees, dude. Fuck that so hard.
The pool was good,
possible.
though, right?
Oh yeah, the pool was great. No, it was a phenomenal experience. Jumping in a swimming pool at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's still like cool and refreshing. You get out and you're still warm. But
back to sleep.
It's 3 o'clock in the goddamn morning.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And hearing stories of people like down in Arizona, it's like you literally spend all summer going from your air-conditioned car to an air-conditioned building. That's
last
it.
year when
like,
we
you
went
don't
to
go and be outside. You don't when it's that like the middle of summer. You don't go do shit.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, because you fucking die. Like it's too hot. No, not interested.
Yeah, and then when we went to the Grand Canyon last year, like it was like baking. If I had an egg,
Yeah, just hold it in your hand. Okay, I can eat this now. Is that over medium? That's over medium.
I remember it was baking at the Grand Canyon.
Dude, we went and it was like raining. It was fucking gorgeous.
At the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, it was a little chilly, but again, throw a sweatshirt on, good to go. Had a great time.
When did you go?
So we got married in December. It was right before Morgan was born, so last March.
Did you go on the Skywalk?
We didn't go on the Skywalk, but that was where Grand Canyon West.
Yeah, that's where we were.
It was super cool. Again, I like natural features. I like shit like that, where it's like, I don't know, there are two
I'm
different...
afraid of heights.
But I feel like there are two different kinds of people, or like two different focuses of reverence. Like, there are people who go into a city and like, wow, man, like, we built this, like, this was just people, that's amazing. And to me, it's like, that's so fucking temporary. Like, when you look at mountains, those have been forming and are constantly changing over, like, unspeakable amounts of time.
Just a mountain.
It's amazing. And the Grand Canyon was literally like, you look down at that river in the bottom of it, that's what carved the Grand Canyon.
It was all cool. It was all cool.
Gorgeous, dude. I like lost my shit, dude. It was.
But I'm afraid of heights.
I like that. See, Nicole is afraid of the fact that I'm not afraid of heights. I kept like
freaky.
Walk right up to the edge, and I'm like, oh. She's like, Dakota, fucking don't do it. Like I'm gonna just like, oh.
Accidents happen.
Get a raindrop in the eye and just
Go back further. Go back further. Too far.
Act like you're holding up the sun. Back up. You gotta get.
Now on one leg.
Now on one leg.
Jump.
Yeah, hopefully she doesn't want to kill me. You never know. But
she's like, yeah, I got the kids. See ya.
I love like seeing natural stuff like that. Like, have you ever been to Yosemite?
No.
It's fucking right there, dude. It's literally right there.
Going that way?
You head down through Gardnerville.
No frame of reference.
You've never driven like 395 south to LA?
Yes.
Okay,
like Bishop?
So as you're crossing the California border, you hit that little check station, the California Agriculture Station, where they like basically ask you to slow down, and then you wave at somebody, and then you keep driving.
Well, I know of the one on 80.
Yes, it's just like that, but it's down south of town.
I haven't gone there enough times to where I have it permanently tattooed in my brain.
Yeah, as you're heading down toward Bishop, there are like 3. There's Tioga, Sonora, and then something else, pass, that take you up and over into Yosemite Valley. It is fucking gorgeous, dude. It is, like, the mountains here are cool, but the granite formations that formed in that valley, for some odd reason, are just insane.
Is this like that rock that's in Nevada that's like all different colors and there's like water coming out of it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, this is in California.
Okay.
And so, I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds cool as shit, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen pictures of it.
I actually,
it's like a natural forming spout of water, but it's developed like a weird kind of multicolored rock formation around it. It's not like a super cool rock formation. It's just like a big old lump, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's supposedly in Nevada.
Oddly enough, I haven't explored Nevada a whole lot.
Well, it's all desert, so you gotta drive a shit ton to get anywhere.
Yeah.
A shit ton of nothing.
Yeah, we drove out, and you know where Gerlach is? If you head to Pyramid Lake and then keep fucking driving. It's right on the edge of the playa, like where they do Burning Man.
I've never gone to... I don't know where that is.
I've
been to Pyramid once, right, and I know that's the way to
go.
You've
been to Pyramid once?
Oh, twice. Yeah.
2 times?
Twice.
Wow. That's insane.
Oh.
Either way, we drove down and went to see a hot spring, and it was like 17 miles of dirt road to get out there. And I went a little
17
hard.
17 miles is not that big of a deal.
It was a long trek off the road. You're like, oh, okay, we're cruising on like a little 2-lane highway, and she's like, turn off here, and there's literally like fucking nothing. It's like drive through a barbed wire fence and then follow this road for 17 miles.
Well, 17 miles. I mean, that's like what? 17 minutes.
You're not doing 60 miles an hour.
Well, why not?
Actually, I was doing about 50, and I ended up popping a tire. So we got there, and I get out of the car, and I hear. Psst. It's like, oh fuck! Like, I'm sorry, we gotta go. But it's a hot spring that like forms in like this little creek that's probably 200 yards long. Super cool.
It's a 200-yard long hot spring.
Yeah. And the water was like crazy warm. You put your hand in it.
I'm afraid of parasites in hot springs.
Parasites?
Yeah, there's like parasites in hot water. Really hot water. I'm afraid of nature.
Nature.
Look that up, Corey. You're not watching
fear
anymore.
of nature?
Yes. No one's watching at the moment.
Oh, man.
Fear of nature. Fear of scary animals that you can't see.
I don't know. I keep having this reoccurring dream that I've had since like I was a little kid. And it's I'm walking down like a path.
So now you're an adult in this dream.
I'm still, yeah, it's always me at the present time. So I'm like walking down like this hiking path, just trucking along, and jumping out of a tree is a mountain lion. And it's like staring at me and like doing like a little low crouch, and I end up fighting a mountain lion.
And you kill it.
Yeah, usually. Most of the time, and again, this is like recent memory. It's almost every time that I have the dream now, it's like I have a knife in my right hand, and I basically like give the mountain lion my right arm or my left arm and just fucking stab the shit out of it.
So it bites onto your
it's gonna attack me anyways. Why not? Like, I have control of this. Like, you're here at all times. It probably wouldn't go like that. A mountain lion is probably way meaner than I give it credit for. Thank God we've never crossed paths. Because I would not be about that life, dude.
Now, if you hike, do you always carry a knife with you?
Yeah.
Like a pocket knife that's not going to do nothing? Is that what you carry with
not
you?
Not like a Swiss, like a little like pen knife.
You're
no,
like,
but I also don't carry like a fucking
I use this
Bowie
to
knife.
my fingernails.
Yeah, I don't know. I always make fun of those guys. Like the you could tell he was a Boy Scout, like over prepared. I got 8 gallons of water in my Camelback, and I got my like zip off pants shorts just in case it gets too cold or too hot, just depending. You know what I'm saying? Or then he's got a fucking K-bar like strapped to his belt, like ready for nature.
I love to carry all that shit with me at all times.
Why?
I don't know. I just like
just walking around. Ooh. I'm never thirsty. Fuck y'all.
Maybe not so much water. The proper amount of water is fine with me. But I would like to be able to carry like a big knife.
You can.
Yeah, I know, but then you get looks. Or you feel stupid.
Because you're the guy carrying a big fucking fuck-off knife.
Right.
It's like, oh, let me open that box, and it's like a fucking sword.
Well, look, when we went to Vegas last summer, Walmart had a cool knife. We had to go to get our fishing licenses or whatever.
You went fishing?
Yeah, but it didn't go so well.
You didn't catch any fish?
No. There's like, at a certain point, there were no fish. Like, and people started showing up, and I think it scared away all the fish. And
everybody just jumping in the water.
Sure, so like, it just, like, there was like maybe a flicker of fish the moment we got there, and then nothing.
Oh, okay.
But they had this cool knife, a big-ass knife, and I bought it because I thought it was cool because I like knives. I got a bunch of knives. You've seen all my knives. We ended up using it to cut the sandwich that we bought with. So it's like like a Bowie knife for cutting the sandwich up with. So, I mean, you get the knife. It's like, really, what are you going to use the knife for?
I don't know.
Unless you're going in a hunting situation where there might be dangerous animals.
But you're not going to use a knife. If you're hunting, you should carry a sidearm. Let's say you're hunting deer. If you're hunting deer, you should still carry a sidearm.
But then you need to cut off the deer, right?
What else hunts deer?
Like
bears and mountain lions.
But what about
And
cutting
you
up
don't
the
want
deer?
to go out a mountain lion with a fucking knife.
But to cut up the deer once all said and done, like if you
Yeah,
cut the
knife,
head,
yeah.
but you'll want a big knife to get through like bone and shit, right?
No.
No.
My understanding is no. You like cut through joints, you'll quarter the animal, and then you take the quarters.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't just take the animal.
So if you're not taking the whole carcass.
Yeah, it's not like you just like, this is my trophy, like decapitate the fucking elk, like, ah!
So what's the point of like a big ass Bowie knife then? A big old hunting knife? Is there no point?
In my opinion, no.
So it's either you've got like a machete to cut through fucking brush, depending upon where you're at, or either you just got like a nice sharp regular knife.
I carry at all times a multi-tool.
So okay.
I've got a knife. I've got a serrated knife.
So you're saying like
I've
this
got
knife
a
right
file,
there would be
I've got
fine.
a saw. I've got
Pliers,
scissors, a bunch of screwdrivers, can opener. You're good. Bam. It's like fucking anything that you would need, and it fits in your pocket. They have some.
What are you gonna do to
fuck
that
off
mountain
sides.
lion when he fucking comes face to face with you?
Bam.
That little guy?
Again, I don't see the point in being that guy. Every time I see those guys out hiking, I think derp, 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 derp.
But you're that guy, Dakota.
I'm not that
Oh,
guy.
you're a big guy that would have a knife like that.
No. There's no point. Or like, you know what a karambit is, right?
No.
So it's the knives that are basically like hook shaped, and the sharp edge is the inner edge of the hook, and they typically have like a finger hole at the end.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's no point.
I think
in
those like
carrying-
Harpy knives.
They're for knife fighting. They're for like just like what you
Shooting
do if you're gonna
somebody.
attack somebody with a fucking knife.
Right.
Why would you fucking carry that? Unless that's your view of the world. It's the same people like, why carry a gun absolutely everywhere?
Right.
I'm all for like Second Amendment rights. I think that people should have guns and should educate themselves on like owning a firearm,
Right.
and using a firearm,
Right.
and maintaining a firearm.
Right.
I totally think that. But
There's no need
what-
to take it everywhere.
exactly, what do you think of the world around you if that's your mentality? Is like, like, why go
But
through
then you
life
have
like
stories
that?
where people are in a store and somebody comes in to rob it.
Here's
Homeboy shopping, pulls out a gun, is able to save the day.
what?
You know, like some asshole comes in, like, give me all your money. Luckily, someone shopping, a patron of the store, happens to have his gun, and he's able to fend off this intruder.
Part of, I think, the issue with like being so saturated in media and news and like it's everywhere now. It's everywhere you look. You pull out your phone, you look at any app, and you're getting news feeds. What are you getting feeds of?
Me in particular?
No, anyone who looks at that.
Everything.
You're getting feeds of the
The scare tactic.
the
is what you're saying.
scariest, but what else is also true about those instances? They're rare. Of the
Sure,
population,
it's not like
of
every
the
single
population,
store.
place, time, the amount of people, not only in the country but in the world, finding yourself being that person in that situation, surrounded by those people immediately. What's the likelihood of that?
Right, so like if you're...
So you're walking around life every moment of every day, every time you put your firearm on or you put that fuck off size knife in your pocket or in the sheath that you have on your belt because it's an intentional thing. In my
Sure.
head, to some degree, you have to be thinking like, today's the day. Like,
Why can't you just be like, I hope
It's
I
a
don't
ri-
have to use this?
99.999% of the people that live and die on this planet do not find themselves in those situations ever in their entire life. It's like why like walk around petrified of encountering some like murderer
Well, I mean,
or like being petrified of some dude at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, home invasion is a real thing. Dudes will like kick in your fucking door and like you tie up fucking everybody. How rare is that?
Well,
we hear about it.
Sure.
But think, if it happens 5 times in a year in one city.
Don't live in that city.
5 times. City the size of Reno. You got 500,000 people here now?
Right. I mean, I know.
What is the chance of that happening to you? And again, I think your home
if you're that
is different.
person, 100%.
Again, if you own and maintain firearms, you should have them in a readily accessible place for you to protect you and your family in your home. But going out in public, I'm all for people who go about it in like the proper channels and they do their CCW, and I think that the CCW classes teach the responsibility. Like, you are producing your firearm not as a scare tactic. You are producing your firearm as a as defense. You are defending yourself. Mm-hmm. That is the only time you produce it. So like guys like pulling it out in traffic and like, hey, fuck you, dude. And that guy speeds off and then you don't like pursue him. Obviously that guy has not done something to warrant you pulling your gun out.
Right.
But again, I definitely think that there's like a
right. If you're taking it out, you're hoping to use it.
Exactly. But I think that there are people who view it as like, if I have this, people will know not to fuck with me. Like, I'm not the guy to fuck with. And especially being an open carry state, you don't even have to have a CCW. As long as it's like...
You can see it?
Yeah, as long as the cops who fucking care about this stuff can see that, like, that guy's got a firearm. Okay. That's cool. But again, like, every time you put that on, that has to be your view of the world.
Is it your hope?
And how much is that? How much is that shaped by
society?
The media.
Sure, a lot.
It's not even society.
Well, the media is only fear tactics. It's all
because it's what gets ratings. It's what gets people like, oh fuck, oh I gotta watch this. I gotta absorb as much information
and it's what
on
gets
this.
people to buy things too.
Yeah.
Not even just guns or knives. Fear tactics will get people to buy anything.
Doomsday supplies.
Not even so much as that. It's like, be careful, your water might be poisoned, so make sure you have this cool filter, or, you know.
Or you're going to get kidney stones and it'll hurt to pee.
Right. So, you know, and it's not even a life-threatening thing. It's like, hey, you know, your clothes will get ruined if you don't use this to keep them crisp and whatever. So everything's all about how you are fucking up your life if you're not getting this particular product.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a big advocate of
cool stuff.
Trying to see through the bullshit. I don't know.
Well, me too. But I mean, you live in a world
but
where
even
there are
that
people
might be
who
bullshit.
don't.
You're caught in this cycle. Yeah.
No! Is the bullshit that I'm looking for bullshit? Is it all just
I'm
bullshit?
looking for real shit, but is that bullshit? Is that just some other layer of bullshit? How deep in the shit are we?
Yeah, and then you start crawling into a hole inside yourself.
Yeah,
and
no.
It's
like, trust no one. 9/11 was an inside job. They faked the moon landing.
Oh, man.
I actually encountered a flat earther.
Someone who thinks the earth is flat.
I swear to God.
I think that's coming back.
And this boils down to that same thing. Is like, if you prescribe to that line of thinking, and good on you if you found the right answer and I didn't. The wool got pulled over my eyes. I'm an idiot. That's cool. You know, if it turns out that, yeah, it's all a big scam for them to, like, basically... He was saying that there are, like, if the world is flat, then there are areas outside of what we are able to see or outside of what we're told there is, where there are natural resources and there's, like... an overlying body that's like controlling these extra natural resources.
We're in a box.
So now you get into like you have to prescribe to the fact that there's like an Illuminati like style overlord ship.
Puppet master.
Exactly, running absolutely everything. That has to be true for this to hold up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you prescribe to that, then you get into like, okay, well then science is a lie. And physics is a lie. and everything that you
Well,
were
then
taught
you start
everything
digging
that
a
you were-
hole.
Exactly, but there are people out there who will go down that rabbit hole, and that's what's so weird to me. Is like, I feel like most people take their view of the world. It's like, here's what I know are facts. Now, knowing this, is that bullshit?
It's gotta be, right?
Because I don't know.
I only have so much information over here.
Exactly.
I don't have all of this information.
But what I'm saying is, for you to believe that this is okay, all of this has to be bullshit.
Sure, contradictory.
And there are
ideas.
people who do that, who literally like, I don't know if it's like a conscious thing or
that's
like
religion for me.
Yeah,
I know.
there's no right answer on the topic of religion. I feel like, you know, we could all die and then like, oh my god, pearly gates. Oh fuck. You never know. Or it's like, the right answer was Judaism. To hell with you. Like, I really hope that's not the case. And for me, by not putting my eggs in any one basket, I feel like I give myself like
look at
the
this
best
guy
shot.
on the fence over here.
Exactly. I'm like, you might be right.
Stay on the fence.
There's no way to obtain.
We have tequila in here. Fence guy.
But there's no way to obtain any proof.
Right.
On that particular subject. I don't think, like, there was a whole huge thing that they were trying to find the Higgs boson particle, which was supposed to be like the God particle is what they were calling it. It would like...
But they didn't like calling it God particles. So
but
the reporter grabbed that nickname.
But in no way would it disprove the existence of God. Because, again, I think that what's quantifiable to us, like what's perceivable to us, is limited. And there are things that exist outside of that. If you went the furthest distance possible, you would not find it. Nor if you go down in the smallest...
Technically, we are in the furthest distance possible. Because if we were to go into a straight...
Pass the joint, dude. Come on.
If we were to go into a straight line...
I want to get high with you so bad, Matt. You have no idea.
Well, I mean, if you think about it... Not for the flat earthers, but us round earthers. If you were to take one step from here and keep going until you found the furthest spot, you could only potentially get back to this spot having gone the farthest distance.
No.
As the crow flies.
No. Because if you were to go straight in that direction infinitely, you would end up thousands of miles from Earth. God dang it. Is she watching?
No one's watching. Do you want to answer that?
No. I don't want to answer during the podcast. Being respectful. We got a structure here.
Sure.
At least, kinda. We got a structure that we're doing the podcast.
Well,
that's the structure.
Okay, so what you're saying is if we've got this circle, for the people that can see...
Oh, it's a circle.
What you're saying is if you're to go straight, you're going to go straight like this.
Yeah, I believe it's what's called a tangent.
What I'm saying...
Realistically,
I'm saying is if we were to walk on the Earth, we're just going to reach the point that we started on.
Yes, but you're not going straight in that direction. Bloop.
Well, we can't just start taking steps in the air.
No. Again, like if you were to take off in a rocket and you were set out to reach the end of the universe.
I'm talking about Earth.
Okay, but the end of the known universe. Beyond that,
there potentially is no end. But I mean, that's just because we've never been there.
if there was a hypothetical end, just like they're discovering that, okay, atoms are made up of these things called quarks, and quarks are made up of these things called blah, 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 and they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
It's infinite.
That's exactly. If you were to reach a hypothetical end to that, beyond that would be the powers that be. There would have to be something that exists beyond that. We just wouldn't be able to perceive or know what that is.
Calm down.
So again, we could advance science to the nth degree, to the imperceivable.
We'll never know everything.
Exactly. And therefore, we will never be able to disprove the existence of God.
Or anything.
The existence of an afterlife. We will never be able to prove that any of these religions are wrong.
But this is the
problem. Just like we can't prove that the Romans were wrong about their gods. We can't prove that the Norse were wrong about theirs, or the Greeks, or any of that. We can't prove
But
the existence of something that we can't perceive.
this is the problem with the people who believe in religion. They're not willing to accept that concept.
Exactly. Because if they were, they would be much more.
They probably wouldn't believe in God or religion if they were more open about it.
They wouldn't choose one.
Right.
You would lie where I am now.
On the fence without tequila.
I can't. Exactly. I'll forego tequila to give
Fuck
myself.
that guy.
Fuck him.
God's in here, and he doesn't believe in you joining this party.
I really hope that that's not the answer. I would almost rather it be like, oh, you just stop existing.
Well, you know what John
okay.
3:16 is, right? John 3:16 is, as long as you believe, you're good to go.
Okay. I'm a big believer in
Don't quote me on that. I'm
Stone Cold
paraphrasing.
Steve Austin 3:16.
I just kicked your ass.
Drink beer, kick ass, brother. Wear some camo shorts.
I know this because our fucking shower curtains have a bunch of fucking shit on there, and I'm like, okay, that's what John 3:16 is. It's as long as you believe, you have a place in my house.
Again, I can't like. That's what it boils down to.
But God
for
is
me.
supposed to be all forgiving, all accepting.
Because-
so even if you don't believe, he should still be. It's okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Come on in, have a
Again.
shot of tequela, maybe two, but don't get crazy.
Don't get
and then you got to
crazy.
go back out to your friends, okay?
Exactly. I don't know.
Okay.
What I'm a big believer.
Burritos.
No way.
You can't have it.
You didn't think that Jesus was your savior. Burritos aren't for you. And we had this souvenir sombrero for all believers.
Right. You get the small one.
Yeah. Where's your souvenir sombrero? Oh. But I don't know. I'm a big believer in that. If you're just a good person, that's kind of
Even
what.
if you're a bad person, I mean, Jesus died for our sins, right?
But no. So now you're getting into like specific. You're focusing on Christianity.
All religion is like, okay, we're good, right? Oh wait, no, what about this? All right, let's write that rule in too. Oh wait, we forgot something. Okay, let's write that in now too.
What about the transgender? No, nobody will want to address that.
What's that?
Nobody will want to do that.
That's what religion is to me. Is like, they come to a speed bump in the road, and it's like, well, we can't forget about those guys. All right, let's just wedge it in here in the Ezekiel.
To me, I think that.
And I just came up with that idea right now.
I think that religion is people's inability to just say, "I don't know." There's so much arrogance
they
in the
need
world.
to know.
They need
a solid, concrete
an
answer.
Yes, and whoever's willing to provide
Yeah,
that.
God
to
did
them,
it.
because it's a regional thing. You look at like why. If something was like an overlying answer, why do you have like massive populations congregated together regionally that believe one thing?
Sure, like the Bible Belt down in the South, the Mormons in Utah,
Yes.
Idaho, and Hawaii.
Yeah, and I know like my dad still has a hard time with being agnostic almost. Like agnostic is like there is no answer, it doesn't matter, we should not even seek these answers. Just be a good person and everything's going to be cool.
Right.
Like
But I still think, isn't agnostic also like, yeah, there's a God, but I'm still not sure.
it's not needing an answer. It's accepting that there is no answer, and that's totally okay.
Right.
We'll find out when the lights go out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you won't get
When
any
the lights go
tequila.
out. Yeah, girl.
You're not getting any lights by yourself. We have a disco ball.
We have a disco ball, but we're not turning it on for you.
Right. You sit in the dark.
But my dad still struggles with that because of his upbringing, because he was told that because every kid begins at some point to question their existence and start asking those questions that don't have answers. And rather than being told, oh, no, there's no answer for that, and this is why, and having that conversation, they're like, Jesus died for your sins! Worship him! And so there are people who still struggle with that idea because it's not provable that that's wrong. a lot of those people are just motivated by seeing the bad that it does with human input, with human influence,
Well,
with people using that as an excuse to view themselves as above other people. That's one of my big my big hang-ups with religion is that like people almost use it. And again, it's not everybody. I've met good Christian people. I've met good Mormon people. I've met good Muslim people.
It's the fanatics. You got to watch out.
And I don't even know if it's fanatics. People who believe it devoutly can even be good people. But it's when the mentality shifts that like I believe this.
When you hit that brick wall is when
therefore
it's
I'm better than you, because I believe that Jesus died on the cross for my sins, and I believe the Bible, and the Bible is the answer. Because of that, I'm better than you. Like that moral lordship, or like that moral high ground that they perceive, because again, it's not concrete evidence.
Well, didn't the Pope start like changing a bunch of shit? I heard the most recent Pope start being like, "Oh yeah, that's cool now."
He should.
I think he has.
They should be accepting, because again, if you read the Bible and you read like,
then they put the knife in his back. He's like, "Well, no, maybe not."
Man, chill with the knife. But like Jesus surrounded himself with like bad people. With like his apostles were not good people. That's how you like spread the word. That's how like it's like a live and let live. It's like, you know, these people don't have the answer, and that's totally okay. And like to err is human.
Did you ever see,
you know, and people like lose that understanding in their interpretation in some sects of.
Did you ever see fucking the
Christianity? Sorry.
God, what is it? The Jesus movie, not the Passion of the Christ.
I gotta be honest. I shy away from all that stuff.
Well, Martin Scorsese made a movie about Jesus. What the fuck is it called?
Is it Macbeth 2?
No.
But that movie, sorry.
Oh, The Last Temptation of Christ. And it's got Willem Dafoe as Jesus, and.
Like Willem Dafoe, this is going in a good, and I like Martin Scorsese.
So he made this movie, and it's based on a controversial book. It's not like a Bible story. It's based on a book that some guy wrote.
Okay.
And what happens is after Jesus dies on the cross, he's taken down off of the cross, and this is where the temptation comes in, where the devil tempts him with like, "This is your life," and he goes on to have children and have this life and grow old. And there's this guy that he was with, and I know I'm going to butcher it, but like he's preaching the word of Christ. Like Jesus, like, you know, 20 years later, he runs into this guy preaching, professing Christ to all these people, and they're all gathered and listening to him say like, "I knew Jesus, and he did this, and he did this, and he did this." And you know, once the crowd dies away and the guy goes off, you know, Jesus goes over to him and he's like, "Hey, you know, like, I knew you, you know, I'm Jesus. You're talking about me up there." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, so I am," you know. And he's like, I'm here, I'm alive, and you know, I know that I'm getting this wrong.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, okay, so you're alive. So, you know, maybe these things happened, maybe they didn't, but still, I'm me." I think it was Paul. You know, I'm now preaching the word of you, and this is what I'm doing, and people are listening, regardless of whether or not you're alive or dead or here or there or whatever. Yeah. So it kind of tells that thing, like, if there was a Jesus and he went on to live, there was still someone making up all this phony baloney for the people that need that to hear that and be a part of whatever it was.
Yeah.
Which is what religion is hope. It's hope. Christianity is hope, right?
Yes. I don't know. I my line.
I didn't think we'd get down like a big fucking theological discussion here.
Oh. I've been all existential crisis for the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, having a kid just makes me think of things that I didn't before, and think of like ways of like those questions are coming.
Sure.
And how can I handle them in the best way possible? The most loving way possible, because to me, to be like, God's not real and like fucking, you know, religion's bullshit, blah, 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 blah. would be just as bad as somebody is like, Jesus died for your sins, and like, you know what I'm saying? It's just the opposite. It's the pendulum swing in the other direction. You have to find some middle ground, and understanding that it's not provable.
Well, as long as you're not hurting anybody.
You can come to no concrete evidence for or against, because in all reality, these things don't matter.
You're right.
Be a good person, and no matter what theological ideology you land on, your odds are pretty good.
Your choice is.
Your odds are pretty good.
Sure.
No matter what the right answer is.
There's good people in all sects.
Totally. There's bad people in all sects.
Absolutely.
There's bad atheists. There's bad agnostics. There's bad people everywhere. Right. If you're just
bad
a
Catholics.
good person, you're good, man.
There was this documentary that I showed to Rose, and that's when she gave up on religion, kind of. And it's about this Catholic priest, and he was molesting kids.
Yep.
And then they were like, well, we're just going to send you to this church up the road. Yep. Literally just up the road. Started molesting kids. Well, we'll move him up to the next one.
Yep.
And they just kept moving him, and
right.
not even that far away from the previous one. And did nothing about it. The church did nothing about it.
Yep.
Knew he was doing it, and just let him go and let him keep doing it. Before they finally he ran off back to Ireland or whatever.
Yeah, it's fucked. And again, that's human input. I genuinely believe, I don't know, I'm a big believer in the Jesus Christ, woman. When are you getting home? When are you getting me home?
Well, we're wrapping up here pretty quick.
I love you, but fuck.
Uno momento, por favor.
Yeah. Either way.
There was one thing I wanted to ask you, like a long time ago.
What's up?
Did you ever go to your, I'm sure you're going to say no. Like you had a high school reunion, right? No?
No.
No one hooked anything up?
Nope.
So, here you are, what, 13 years out?
12 years
12 years out?
Yeah.
Well, because I'm 15 years out.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to do the math real quick. What?
Wait, what?
We're in the farthest spot?
Well, did we do a 360?
There you go. There you are. No, literally, I'm telling you, like, the longest distance between 2 points is time. Right? So the first moment in time to the last moment in time is the longest distance. And if you take those 2 points,
but if you're
and you tie them in a knot, and you have a circle.
If you view time as a physical dimension, then yes, but I don't.
And if you take that circle that you wrap into a knot and you ball it up, and all those points in time are now touching. That's from Quantum Leap.
Dude. Right now is forever.
We are in the forest. Wherever you go, there
where's
you
your
are.
stash, dude? Seriously. You're holding out on me.
This is me regular.
I know, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Someday.
This is garlic.
We're going to get higher.
I don't know about that.
You should.
I don't know.
And then podcast. No video, though. That would freak me out.
Oh, real quick also. So you didn't have a reunion at all?
No.
No one hooked anything up?
Nope.
Well, when mine came around 5 years ago, someone did like a Facebook thing. But I didn't go to that. So you didn't have any reunion?
I had no interest in going to a reunion.
Do you even talk to anybody that you went to high school with?
Yeah.
You graduated, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody that I want to talk to, it's with the interconnectivity of everything. Like you can find anybody that
right.
you want to talk to, and you
but
can maintain...
is there anybody that you talk to that you talk to since high school still are friends with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of them were at Morgan's birthday party.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know. Again, I maintain contact with people that I want to maintain contact with.
Well, for me, it's just Corey, and that was as of 4 years ago. So prior to that, there was like nobody from high school that I ever talked to.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, and then I know you saw the post that I posted yesterday for we got accepted to a film festival.
Hell yes.
So.
Are you stoked?
Well, I don't know if I should be stoked yet or not. I'm still waiting to hear some finalities from it. So
It's not.
I mean, I don't know, because I don't want to say yes, it is. I guess when you put it in terms that it went from consideration to accepted, that means that you're in it. But
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on information, some final information. So, I mean, as of now, like, let me read the email. Let me finish up this email, or let me read up this email real quick so that you can hear what I heard, or whatever. Where did it go?
I can hear what I heard, but in my voice.
I don't know what I was saying there. All right, Hollywood Dreams International Film Festival and Writers Celebration has sent you the message below, blah, blah, blah. This is Dell with AOF to notify you that Hollywood Dreams' second annual International Film Festival and Writers Event 2018 has updated the judging status of your submission to accepted. So that sounds like we're in a film festival, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to the AOF family. Please read the entire email. I want to thank you for submitting. We appreciate you trusting with your work, and we're proud to be a part of your creative journey. Please make sure that you send in all your stills and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Trailer links. Subscribe to our newsletter. This is our main method of communication. It contains important festival updates and event information. You'll find the link to subscribe at the bottom of the AOF website. Finally, we are starting a refer program, blah, blah, blah. Thank you once again. Your project has been selected for first round competition at Action on Film 2018. So I think that's where I hit the speed bump. Once again, your project has been selected for first round competition. So, like, I don't know.
So you're in the film festival. You're just in the. They haven't. You're in the first
round. Bracket.
Yeah, but you made it to the tournament.
March Madness. So, and this is in Las Vegas. You guys want to go to Vegas and see your movie in a film festival?
When?
I read it online. Of course, like I said, I don't have any further information yet. Because, hold on, I didn't finish up the email.
You just said yet?
Your official acceptance letter with instructions, Laurel's schedules will be sent at a later date.
What are Laurel's?
Like, have you heard that thing? Have you not heard that thing?
What thing?
Okay, hold on, real quick. There's a thing going around on the internet where this audio file is played, and either you hear one word or you hear the other word. So here, what word do you hear?
Laurel. Laurel.
Laurel.
Okay. Because some
Why?
people hear the word Yanni.
What?
Yeah. 53% of people on Twitter heard Laurel. 47% hear Yanni. And it all has to do with how high of a frequency, I think,
Or frequency focus?
said person can hear. Right.
Okay.
So anyways, your official acceptance letter with instructions, Laurel's schedules will be sent at a later date. But when I looked online, it was August 16th to the 26th.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, I have a little block of time at the end of that I planned on for, like, vacation time. But once again, it's like, we don't know when the movie will be playing. If it's like, okay, here's the first 2 days is bracket 1, you know, or maybe they'll show it once and then show it a second time if it gets into a final competition. So if
maybe
gets
it will
shown,
be considered like viewed by the judges, I guess.
Oh, it sounds like it's been viewed by, because what did it say at the front? The judging status of your submission to accepted. So it's been judged already, and we're accepted. But yeah, so those are the dates. August 16th to 26th. We'll figure it out.
All right.
So, I mean, if we can get as many of us to go, and it's like a decent screening or whatever it is, I'll let everyone know, and it'd be nice and cool and fun and a great experience, because, I mean, if this is anything at all, this is like the first step to the next step.
The one step
As of right now,
before
the
the other step.
we are moving forward in
Yes.
time. We're officially going further than we've ever gone in our lives.
Oh my god.
And wherever you go, there you are. So,
Right now, I lived longer than I ever had before.
think about it. So yeah, so that's something to look forward to. Hopefully, it's a good thing.
Hell yeah. That'd be
Not-
awesome.
Because like when I say, like, you know, I'm still waiting, it's because like we've been kind of in other stuff, kind of. Like one time I got a thing back saying like, oh yeah, you lost. It's like, what?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they sent a sheet like, oh, all these films were competing for this, and it's like, oh, so that means we were in something and we lost and we didn't even know it. And then another thing was like the Toronto International Independent Film Festival gave us pre-qualified status, but when I got the rest of the email, it just sounded like it was like, oh, also submit your film to all of our other parent companies and sister companies. So I think the pre-qualification was to make you get excited and be like, hell yeah, I'm going to go submit it to all these other things because you're giving me this voucher to kind of do it. Because that went nowhere also. So,
Okay.
so like, I'm a little gun shy to be like, celebrate good times. We're millionaires!
You get a new car! And you get a new car!
So yeah, so that's that.
Alright. Fair enough.
Yes. And this is for God Salt, not Street Toughs.
Have you submitted Street Toughs to a bunch of stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
But, like, nothing against Street Toughs. I think God Salt's a better movie. No offense on your performance.
No.
You were good. What about, like, showing your movies that I made with you in them to your kids? What is that going to be like? Like, those exist.
Yeah. And yeah. Well, just wait till later. Like it's like, why do Daddy's nuts keep getting mutilated?
Where do you keep your movies? Are they just with all your other movies?
Yeah.
So just on a shelf, and like your kids are like,
They're on the top shelf. They'll be older when they can reach
they're
them.
like, what is this? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
And Street Toughs?
Patriot Zombie,
The Patriot Zombie.
where you're in a thong.
The making of the unmaking of.
The unmaking of American Zombie. I watch that all the time. Like, don't I always text you when I start watching it.
Yeah.
Because you got that the best line in the movie. Do I still have that on here? I think I still have it on here. And then I'll let you get out of here because I know you're the old ball and chain.
The old dad stuff.
Where is it at? Tears for Fears.
Ooh.
Did I send you? I sent you that fucking music
Yeah.
video. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Worked out like really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody that we had there, like seemed like really, really focused on it. Like they really wanted to get it done, but that was obviously not the case.
Like that just sets up the whole concept of like filmmaking and fucked up movies and everything else like that. And
that was the whole thing.
and
in
not
a
even
nutshell.
just making movies, like
When I showed up,
jobs.
When I showed up, and Patrick and AJ were hammered drunk, like first day of filming, all right, and they are like, obviously,
At like 4 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
dude. I was like, this is gonna be wow. All right.
I love watching that fucking movie. It's so funny. Everything all you guys say.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of just the movie making experience. I've loved just doing it. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Every time.
All right, well, Dakota, thanks for coming. I don't think we even introduced ourselves.
Oh,
Well, I'm Matt Bonta.
I'm Dakota Kimes.
Welcome to Sequel Podcast.
And goodbye.
They probably thought this was like an NPR program. All right, thanks. See you later, everybody.
Bye.